Let's see what's going on. Let's give it a minute. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? Nearing the end of the weekend. What's going on, Java Balisong? I just saw your stuff this morning, didn't I? Did you just get a sub from me? I think so. Or maybe it was yesterday. I want to say you and I have been chatting, or I saw something from you or something. You're familiar. How is everybody doing? Java, you flipping today? If so, what are you flipping? Oh, you follow on Instagram? All right, cool. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate the follow. How long you been flipping for? Crescent? Nice, nice. What colorway did you go? Did you get the white one or did you get the purple one? Inquiring minds have to know. You went with the purple. All right. Okay. If I do get the crescent, I will most likely be getting the white, just simply because that will give me the ability to mess around with the color if I decide that I want to go the direction of dyeing the G or dyeing the G10. About how long I've been flipping, it's hard to answer. You've stopped multiple times. Fair, fair. So you follow me on Instagram. That means you've possibly seen a couple of my posts, maybe seen some of my YouTube, but I have not been doing it for very long. I have been in the hobby for about 6 months, so learning quickly, but not the most proficient yet. One of the interesting things, though, that I picked up, aside from just tricks and the hobby itself, was the community that comes along with it. What is your feel on the community? You're just gonna lurk now. Sorry, not gonna talk much. You just want to enjoy the stream. No problem. Hopefully today's topic will be an okay topic for you. I got some talking points that I'm going to go through relating to community. And if you're in the Balisong world, anybody in the Balisong world knows that community is a big factor with Balisong. But this is applicable just across the board. You don't have to be a flipper. You could be in a car enthusiast community. You could be in, what do I want to flip? Knitting, crocheting, singing, whatever the case may be. If you're into a hobby, a thing, there's a community out there for it. The thing is, though, that, how do you find your place in the community? How do you find, a healthy little area of the community for you to settle down in? First, you gotta kind of figure out what the community looks like, and if it's a healthy community to join. A couple things you want to keep an eye out for with regards to healthy communities. You need to make sure that you're feeling welcome before you bring anything to said community. And what I mean by that is you need to be able to feel like you're not feeling pressured to do something to fit in. For example, with Balisongs, the vast majority of the Balisong community seems to be in the Instagram world, not so much in YouTube. I'm not as comfortable in Instagram. So I tend to stick to YouTube, where I actually found the hobby and found people doing it. So this is where I found like videos from Will Hirsch, Blade Bias, Artsy, Pez, Can't Flip for Ship. That's where I see a lot of quality content, um, and that's where I digest said content from. But it seems like the majority of the community is in Instagram. For me, not so comfortable with Instagram, more comfortable with YouTube. So that's where I found my resting place. But to be a part of a community, you don't need to jump in right away. You don't need to be immediately heard. You can be a silent, kind of like you, Java, on this stream. You can be a silent observer. You don't have to, put your clips out there. You don't have to record shorts. You don't have to do what I'm doing and stream your content. All you have to do is whatever that community is encompassing. In this case, Balisong. That's all you need. Um, you don't have to be good, just like me. When I go out, I look at Balisong content. The majority of the stuff that I see is really good flippers doing competition level flipping from my perspective. It's really, really impressive. Um, that originally left me feeling somewhat uncomfortable putting myself out there for the community to see what I'm doing, simply because it's not the same level of skill as like, I won't name any names, as other people out there flipping and posting their content. But the more I thought about it, and the more I saw how this particular community behaves and interacts, um, I felt comfortable. So I figured, okay, I'm seeing all this good stuff. I'm seeing all these people dropping this awesome flipping content. I'm not seeing very many drops. I know there have to be new people in this community. Those new people might be interested in seeing something similar to themselves. Maybe not everybody wants to see, the best trick in the world. Maybe somebody wants a reminder that somebody can throw a balisong up and smack themselves in the face sometimes. So that's what I do. I learn. I mess up. I make mistakes, and then I try again. Pick up the belly and try the flip again. And I record it and I put it out there. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's easy for me to be able to go back, see what I've done, and kind of compare where I am to where I was. So, for example, I go back and I take a look at my videos of me learning the chaplain, which, if you don't know, anybody who's not a Bally flipper, this is a chaplain. And I watched that video, and it was the equivalent of me going like this, like twice, and then I dropped it. But I was super excited. Um, but I figured, okay, I'm learning. I want to put my content out there. I want other people to see stuff similar to themselves. Screwing up, messing up, learning, and progressing. So I posted that video out, and I want to say that's probably my most viewed video to date. It's a really kind of crappy voiceover, positive talk video, but I was really excited about it at the time. And the feedback that I got from the community was just really uplifting. So to be welcome in a community, you don't have to be the best in the community. You just have to be there. And you don't have to prove that you belong. You are allowed to just exist. Kind of like everybody here in the chat. You guys are in the chat. You are part of my micro community right now. That's really cool. Some people have jumped in the chat and said hi, said a couple things. Other people are just quietly sitting back, listening. That is totally fine. You're not doing it wrong. There is, in a good community, there is no pressure to perform. People don't have to be valued for their skill, for their output, or for their consistency. If you're in Balisongs, You don't have to post to Instagram every single time you go and flip. Uh, like me, I live stream a lot as of late, but I don't have to live stream every single time I'm practicing my Balisong. I just have to do it when I want to. So no pressure to perform is super key in a healthy community. Just be somewhere and be around people where you can be yourself, uh, you can be present, and everyone kind of just accepts you for who you are. Consistent, or not consistency, what's the word? Kindness. Let's see. What does Balisong, or wait, where does Balisong originated? As I understand it, though I am not a history buff, as I understand it, Balisongs originated in the Philippines as a martial art. That is what I believe. But at this point, Balisongs, the vast majority of them aren't even sharp. You wouldn't even classify them as knives. You would call them trainers, the ones that are dull. And it's just kind of a wrong. Ooh, inform me. Inform me. Where does Balisong originate? Please, please educate me. I would like to know. Um, while I'm flipping Balisong, but it's from your country. Ooh, but that was not the Philippines. Well, now I'm going to ask a personal question. What country are you from? All right, so we're talking flipping Balisongs. Chat is asking Balisong questions. Super awesome. Balisong originated from, yeah, that's the Philippines though, right? Bentagas? Bentagas, I think is how you say that, in the Philippines. So I wasn't quite wrong. I just wasn't as specific. But yeah, that's cool. I did not know that. Thank you for sharing. While flipping Balisongs, anybody just tuning in, we're also talking about community. The reason I'm opting, oh, not for martial arts, is that where I was wrong? It was a combat and a survival knife. Interesting. Interesting. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Um, so anybody who knows Balisong and has been in it for a little bit knows that the Balisong community is a very interesting and broad community to become a part of. When I first got into Balisong flipping about 6 months ago, I started, I knew that a lot of people recorded their stuff. I started recording my stuff because I wanted to track my progress. But I knew a lot of people were posting content on YouTube. So I figured I would try my hand at posting some shorts, posting some longer form video. And the feedback that I got was actually really, really positive, really beneficial. I got a lot of really good. I'm glad to see the Balisong being used in another country. Absolutely. I keep saying everybody should have a Balisong. But as I started putting out my content, the community was really starting to respond. And it wasn't just like if I did a quality trick that I landed, I would post it and the community responded. As I was screwing up, I would post it. There's one short that I did where I'm talking about how I could just do the same boring trick for 40 minutes while talking on live stream and be totally comfortable. And during that little dialogue, I threw the Balisong up and smacked myself in the face. People love that too. But every time I put my stuff out there, I put my stuff out there for me because I wanted to. I wanted to make sure that somebody else out there in the community had someone who wasn't perfect, that they could see, they could watch, they could grow with. So in a good community, in a quality community, you have presence. You have people who are paying attention to what's going on around them. Oftentimes, in a bad community, You know, you don't feel seen. You don't feel heard. You don't feel heard. You're just kind of there, silent in a crowded room. The Balisong community is totally different. Everybody, it seems, has a voice, and has a voice as loud as they need to have. If you want to be quiet in the room, just participating, you can. And if you want to put yourself out there and really be seen, that's an option too. But you can't do it wrong. How long have you been using Balisong? When, who, and where? I have been flipping for about 6 months, so not very long. Not very long, not very great. I am in the States, the United States. And my name is Scott. Nice to meet you. Let's see. All right, so yeah, community. No pressure to perform in a good community. People are valued for their skill, their output, and their consistency. What I mean is, all right, you let me know what you mean. People are valued for their presence when you learned. Let's follow up on what I'm reading in the chat. How long have you been using Balisong? When, who, and where? What I mean is when you learned and who taught you. Got it. And where you learned. Okay, cool. Interestingly, if I'm assuming you're probably not new to things, but anyway, okay, so my name is Scott. I started flipping about 6 months ago. I stumbled across the hobby on YouTube. So that's where I got most of my content from. As I found Balisong flipping and started finding content creators, the ones that I tended to gravitate towards, where I got most of my information and most of my flipping tutorials and stuff, I got from Will Hirsch, Artsy, and Blade Bias. That's where I got most of my stuff. But once I got a little bit more familiar and started dropping in the discords, somebody had given me some recommendations with regards to what to learn, in what order, where to learn from. So I started watching Big Flips tutorials, started going through that recommended series of I don't know, tutorials. I haven't finished it yet. Honestly, I skipped around, but that's what got me in it. That's who I was watching. That's what I was listening to. And if you're interested, you can hop out to my YouTube channel. If you go to my posts, one of my last posts was actually the write-up that I have been following as far as my learning regimen. So you can go ahead and Dippin' Boy, what's going on? I have not seen very many drops from you with regards to shorts and videos. No pressure, but I am looking forward to your next Balisong video. So you said 6 months, you're almost as good as my grandfather. Hopefully that means your grandfather is halfway decent. You tell me. Is that a compliment, or should I feel slightly shamed? I'm assuming your grandfather is amazing at Balisongs, and you are letting me know that I'm not doing half bad. And if that's the case, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, Dippin' Boy, what's going on? That's a compliment. Good. I appreciate it. I really do. I have not been doing this very long, and I don't, my practice is not nearly as aggressive as a lot of other people's. As a matter of fact, what I tend to do is very much the same thing. You'll probably notice the longer I stream. But my big thing right now is just the behind the eight ball, followed by the helix, and I go through that in a cycle, and then every now and then when I want to change it up, I will follow the helix up instead of switching it back around to a behind the eight ball. I'll do a 0G chaplain to a chaplain like this. Then I go down into a twirl. Ooh, almost hit myself in the face again. And then aerial to catch, but that was a horrible catch. Let's see. And then, as I start learning new stuff from there, I toss things into the end of that particular combo, and then just go through that combo again and again and again until whatever I've added to the end is a little bit more comfortable, natural. I can do it, and then that's now part of my practice combo, and I figure out what else to add to the end of it. So that's what I do. That's how I practice, and if that's getting me to a skill level after 6 months that you think is worth complimenting, then I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anybody just tuning in, FYI, my name's Scott. I'm flipping a Balisong, and what I'm chatting about today is what a healthy community feels like. Specifically, the community I am a part of is the Balisong community, which is an exceptionally warm and welcoming community to be a part of. Especially if you're old and you are new and you don't know what you're doing, everybody seems to give you a gentle pat on the back and say, "Don't worry, you're in the right place." It's very heartwarming. So, we have talked about the fact that you shouldn't need to feel like you need to contribute to a healthy community. You can be silent and observe. You can jump in and ask questions. You can participate in whatever way you are most comfortable with. And if it's a good community, you will still be welcomed. There shouldn't be any pressure to perform in a good community. In a good community, it's okay to be seen learning. One thing that I hear a lot of people who are just trying to learn something new, one thing that I hear them say a lot is self-criticism, talking about how something sucked or something was so bad. But the thing is, when you're practicing, the whole reason why you practice something is to improve. You're moving from a state of, I don't know how to do this, to I do know how to do this. And that transition is going to contain a whole lot of, I am not good. So, it's okay to learn, and it's okay to be seen learning. And in the Balisong community, that's why I post what I post. That's why I live stream what I live stream, is because I am just learning. And it is important for people out there in the community to know that, you're not going to be perfect all the time. You're going to drop it. You're going to need a Band-Aid break. You're going to not perform at your finest all the time, and that's okay. But, oh, well, that just kind of took the wind out of my sails. I had a good lead up to the next talking point, but I only had one person in chat, and the lead up was, well, this is still a good lead up. One person in chat, nothing happening in the chat right now, which means that we have at least one quiet person out there. Quiet people still matter in a healthy community. That is really important. The lurkers need to be respected as well. We shouldn't as a community guilt people into participating if they're not ready to, if they're not prepared to, if they don't feel like they're in a safe space yet. So respect the lurkers, don't guilt people into participating, and understand that listening is a form of participation in a small way. Listening is still a view. My message is still being heard by someone, whether they're going to act on it or whether I'm boring right now, and you simply cannot be bothered to switch your internet tab and close out of this or mute me. Either way, The quiet people still matter. The quiet people have a different kind of voice, but it is okay to be quiet and still be part of a community. Um, the other thing is that encouragement. How do I put this? Encouragement isn't conditional, based on something. So what I mean by that is, if I post a clip, and my flipping is not that great, um, you can still like it. If somebody else posts a clip and their flipping isn't that great, you know, you can still like it. You can still subscribe to them. You can still let them know that they're seen, that you have witnessed whatever it is that they have put out there for other people to consume. Um, let's see. It doesn't matter how long they've been doing it. It doesn't matter how good they are. Um, if they're a part of the community, we should support them, whomever they may be. Give some tips, give some tricks. Just turn around and help the people around you. It's encouragement should be freely given to new people. Encouragement should be freely given to people who are having, especially people who are having those off days. If you're flipping and you just keep dropping it, let's say you're trying to land behind the eight ball, and every single time you just keep busting your knuckle, you're trying to chaplain, and this is the third ring of shame that you've had. Whatever the case may be, encouragement is not conditional. Whether you're new, whether you're learning, whether you're just having a really crappy day, that's okay that you aren't landing it. Sometimes you have off days. And off days are those days where you really can use that encouragement. So if you're out there, you're having a good day, and you see somebody else out there having a bad day, see if you can do something to brighten their day. Even if it's just a quick comment, hey, I like your shoes, something. For example, earlier today, I saw there was somebody out on Instagram, and they had a note added on their Instagram thing, and I saw it, and it was kind of a sad note, I thought. So I had just sent them a message saying something nice. I can't even remember what it was. But it was basically just telling them, hey, just wanted to let you know, I see that you exist. I'm sure that you're a cool person. Hope you're having a good day. And that gave them a positive interaction to have dealt with today, which is cool. So now at the end of their day, regardless of how their day goes, regardless of what happened, they will have at least one social exchange that they can look back on and say, hey, that was really neat that happened. Let's see. So I am a living, breathing testament where community is involved. That mistakes, drops, screw ups are safe and okay in a healthy community. You can drop it, and nobody's going to laugh at you for too long. You can ask stupid questions. You can do things wrong. I go back, I look at some of my older videos, and some of the rollovers that I was doing were going to land me right on the bite handle. Would have cut my finger open if I was using a real knife. I didn't know. I look back on those videos now, and I know anybody who is an experienced flipper would have seen that and would have been able to call me out on it as a stupid beginner mistake. Nobody ever did. And that's cool. I was allowed to not be perfect. And the community accepted that. That's the thing with the Balisong community, is very, very, very willing to accept you as you are. So if you're new, you're okay being new. If you're asking dumb questions, that's all right. Let us help educate you. Excuse me. If you're messing something up, it's okay. We'll give you time. You'll get there. And if you say something and later on decide, I changed my mind. That's really not where I'm at with that. It's okay. You can change your mind. There's patience instead of judgment in a healthy community. Let's see. Anything going on in the chat? Nope, not yet. Let's see. I do still have some more talking points. I have two more, so we'll wrap these up. I'm hitting about 30 minutes now. Got one person watching, which I appreciate. I have said it before in my other streams. I'll say it again. It doesn't matter to me how long I stream for, and it doesn't matter to me how many people watch. I'm doing this for me because I have things that I like to say, and this is my preferred way of saying them and getting them out. You there in the chat, I greatly appreciate you sticking around with me and watching, listening. Really cool of you. Yeah, so mistakes are safe. A good community, quality community, leaves you feeling better than when you arrived. And as a matter of fact, a lot of communities are found when you're not in the best of places. And I think the Balisong community seems very applicable to that. It seems like a lot of people found the Balisong hobby and entered the Balisong community from a place of sometimes fear, sometimes pessimism, negative vibes, being told what to do and how to do it. Just a lot of I don't know. I don't want to say trauma, but I think there is a lot of trauma with a lot of people in a lot of communities, but in the Balisong community as well. So a lot of people come into it already feeling pretty bad about where they're at, what they're doing, what other people think of them, and when you find a good community, as soon as you show up, as soon as you get there, that weight seems to go away. You feel a little lighter. You feel a little calmer. You feel a little more like yourself. And that's really a key thing for a good community, because it's built on trust, not control. A healthy community doesn't rely on fear or rules or gatekeeping to keep itself going. A good community grows from respect. It grows from mutual respect, from those more seniored in the what's going on, reflip? People flip knives and call them fidget toys. Yep, you got it. But yeah, with the Balisong community, it's like it's built. It seems to me like it's built out of respect, gentle boundaries and sharing care. So when I see somebody flip and they do something great, I'm excited for them. When I dropped my Z choker to ice pick video, where I was excited that I had finally landed it, and so many people came out of the community reaching out to me saying, "Hey, that was awesome. Glad that you did that. Glad that you posted it and we got to see it." That was really cool. That's for me, that's the difference between what a healthy community is and what a toxic community is. Is just who do you see in that? Who is surrounding you? Are you finding people that do show that respect and do give you that appreciation and praise when you need it? Not necessarily you've earned it, but when you need it. Ooh, that was close. All right. Interestingly, that was the last talking point that I had on today's particular chat. I'm not necessarily done. Yeah, man, keep flipping. Absolutely. I'm not necessarily done. I'm not necessarily not done either. So here are a few things for the chat, just in case you guys want to start participating. No issue if you don't, but if you guys want to jump in, flippers. Okay, Reef Blip, I know you're a flipper because you were on one of my streams yesterday. But being a part of the Balisong community, what makes you feel like our community is something comfortable where people can come in out of curiosity? Or do you feel that the Balisong community is a welcoming, warm embrace? Or, is it, just a knife and these are just people, doing their thing to compare yourself against? Where are you at with it? Um, let's see. I got a couple others, but I wanna let that one sink in there for a bit while I flip. And Reef, out of curiosity, how long have you been flipping for? You may have already said so in previous interactions, but I don't recall. I have never felt part of the community. Really? Oh man, that is a bummer. Um, Man, I am so sorry that you're not feeling the same experience that I am. You just post vids. All right. Out of curiosity, is it because you're not interested in being a part of the community, or do you just not feel like the community really cares? Just So you've been flipping for 3 years. All right. I thank for being a 3-year veteran. I thank you for tuning into my stuff because it's got to be painful to watch me flip if you've been doing it and learning stuff for 3 years. So I thank you for being here. What I will say though, because I love the community, so I'm really sorry you haven't had the same experience. What I will say though is, I have my own I'm building my own little community within the community because I'm just a super low key, positive talking person. So if you do feel like you want to be a part of, not necessarily the community, but if you feel like you need to be a part of a community, you are welcome to mine. I am always on the lookout for somebody else to hang out with, and you've been in a couple chats with me so far. So, Reef Blip, I appreciate you, and I welcome you to my community of awesome people. Anybody else? Anybody else? Balisong flipping out there and have any thoughts on the Balisong community? I enjoy watching the community, but I don't make content or whatever. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was kind of talking about it earlier in my chat. The thing is, and I'll go back to that note. So my third point with regards to a healthy community is that quiet people still matter. And in this case, you are less quiet from a response dialogue perspective, which I really appreciate. I love live streaming where people start asking me questions or talking. So this is really cool. But from my perspective, my thoughts on it are, in a healthy community, where you have a safe space, we have respect for the lurker. We have respect for the people who show up quietly, sit in the back of the room, and just watch. That's okay. People shouldn't be guilted into participating if they don't feel it. So, if you flip for 3 years but don't really post your stuff, or if you do post you just post videos, that's right. So if you do post your stuff but not really like long form, you're still, from my perspective, you are still part of the community. Because I flip Balisong on live stream, and you've been in multiple live streams at this point. So you're here, accept it, and I appreciate you being here. That's really cool. But yeah, so some people talk, some people post, some people go to conventions, some people do interviews, whereas other people just listen and digest, and that's okay. Those people are still part of the community. IDK, what is going on, my friend? What is going on? All right. IDK, you came in at the 40-minute mark, just about. I have gone over all of my talking points, and then went back. I have not done the G10 yet. I have not. I will be doing that today, yet. I need to go and find a pan or buy a pan that I can destroy and won't be out. Yeah, that's cool. I enjoy your positive attitude. Thank you. I appreciate it. I when I started posting my content, the way that I kind of self-described what it is that I'm trying to do is something along the lines of, what if Mr. Rogers grew up with a butterfly knife? What if instead of teaching people how to paint, what if Bob Ross taught people how to do flow art with Balisong? I'm really all about the positive vibes and making sure that people feel seen. You got people that are posting content out there that don't have any views, that don't have any likes. I'm trying to find that stuff. Watching Will Hurst, that's awesome. Watching Can't Flip for Ship, watching Just Old Bap. I mean, watching those larger content creators is really cool. They put out a lot of really awesome stuff. But um, while I appreciate that, I really, really, really like finding the people that don't have the views, the people that don't have the likes, the people that don't have the subs, because that gives you a different perspective on the hobby, number one. But number two, because they're small, by way of subs or views, they're still part of the community too. And your reaction to them kind of introduces them to the community. So if they have a positive reaction, like I did from the stuff that I put out there, they're going to view the community as a really great place. Whereas if you've been out there for 3 years posting videos, not really getting that traction, you may not feel like you have that connection with the Balisong community. So I am sorry to hear that's the case. I will find your stuff and I will watch it and I will like it and I will subscribe, just so you know. Okay, so IDK asked if I did I do the G10. I did not do the G10. To get everybody up to speed on what IDK is asking me about, I have the Thomas Balisong Refault in Jade Green, and I have some Rit Dymore Super Pink. So today I am going to be dyeing the G10 scales of my Refault Super Pink. So super excited about it. Reef Blip says, yeah, that's cool. I enjoy your positive attitude. Thank you. Java Balisong says, same. It's hard not to enjoy positive attitude, actually. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I haven't gotten much negative feedback from many in the community. I think um, the closest to negative feedback, I would say, and it wasn't even negative feedback. It was funny. I was talking about my passion of Balisongs and the community and what I enjoy about it. And somebody came back and said, "Dude, it's a knife." That was the most critical feedback I have gotten with regards to my positive attitude. So sounds like you guys are following along with me, and I appreciate that. Just don't read the comments. See, I do read the comments because a lot of the comments are actually, especially what I've seen thus far on YouTube, a lot of the comments have been very endearing and very inspirational. I can't necessarily say the same thing about Instagram. A lot of the feedback that I've gotten from Instagram has been much more critical. So that's yeah, that's it. No, my mom told me it's just a Balisong. Yeah, yeah. Well, it is what it needs to be to everybody. For me, it needed to be an entry point to a solid community, and the Balisongs are just along for the ride. But I'm in it for the people. I'm in it for the community because it's a great group of weirdos to really enjoy, to really get to know, and to introduce yourself to. It's really, I don't know, it's really cool. I love the community. That said, we're approaching 45 minutes. I've gone through all of my talking points. And the chat isn't really blowing up with questions and stuff, which is totally fine. sometimes it's just a short stream. Sometimes it's going to be a longer one. Last night I was on for about 3 hours because we just could not stop. So let's see. Psyop type positive or type vibes, no problemo. Psyop type vibe. Psyop. I don't know what that means. But it sounds like you're saying that you're cool with my positive vibes, and if that's the case, awesome. I'm appreciative of your approval. But for the time being, I'm going to wrap things up today. I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with me while I flipped Balisong and talked about the Balisong community and communities in general. For the time being, everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.